SSunday from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. This is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the number 2 pick in 2017.
We've seen a lot of ups and downs in the young career of Mitchell Trubisky. 3 years with the Chicago Bears, and he's a young quarterback still learning on the job. But what numbers do you trust with him? 8-7, 15 starts last year, but he was 11-3 the year before. The Bears offense, though, in 2019, just 25th in passing and 29th overall. They're looking for Mitchell Trubisky to elevate his game and bring the Bears along with him.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Trubisky throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. K.J. Osborne deep for Minnesota. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran signal caller. In his 9th season now, it's Kirk Cousins.
The debate about Kirk Cousins continues to rage both among Vikings fans and fans around the league. But when you look at his numbers, you think this is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Last year broke a string of 4 straight 4,000-yard passing years with the emergence of Dalvin Cook in the backfield. So while those numbers dropped, he was still solid throwing the football. 26 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. Now he's just got to develop an extra target on the perimeter in order to get his numbers back to the previous levels.
almost ignored them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And 10.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Jalen Johnson up to make the tackle.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now a run with Cook. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. A 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins completes it to the fullback, Ham. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. On 2nd down, it's Cook, and down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
He's tackled at the 30.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. The sack by Robert Quinn. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll run for the first time with Tariq Cohen. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Brought down at the 30-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Nice gain there by the second-year runner out of Iowa State, David Montgomery, who often finishes his runs moving forward and knocking defenders back. He finished tied with Josh Jacobs for the most carries by a rookie last year. But what the Bears need from him, improve on his 3.7 yards per attempt. If he gets that up into the 4s, look out. He can control a game with his running.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Trubisky on the keeper. Jaleel Johnson made the tackle. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
We're scoreless after 1. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Here's Trubisky to throw. He may try and run for this. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Montgomery back to the ground. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Taken down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Trubisky. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing here, Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Eddie Pinheiro on now for the Bears. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
Vikings, nothing.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
On the return, the Vikings take over 1st and 10.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
It's 4th down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
We
remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Quickly to Thielen here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Cousins on first down. An incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they went 2 yards in the wrong direction on the last pass play, and now it's 3rd and 12. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he finds his target. It's sharp. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Cousins again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. 3rd and goal for Cousins. Runs up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
Intended for Justin Jefferson. Incomplete. It's now 4th down and goal.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half.
A 27-yard attempt.
Bailey's kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all time. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll move the chains. Well, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Cook. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. The completion there winds up a launch, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Number 29.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Trubisky. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They run again on first down. Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Draw play. Cousins to Cook. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the 36, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. Incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
For the field goal, a 50-yard attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
That's the score. Vikings 6, Bears 3.
We still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage that they need.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 29.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Out of the gun, he'll throw.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
Montgomery, the ball carrier. Ryan Connolly on the tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
22-yard.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
From the gun, he'll set up to throw.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They're able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this score will stay right where it is. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Intended for Tariq Cohen. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw.
And this will be caught by Mooney.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.